For exercise P2-7, we're really going to focus on what parametric feature-based modeling means. It's important to first look at the exercise and determine how we want to do this. I can see that there's two big fillets and a flat oval with a little cutout at the top. So the main thing that I want to focus on is what in here can I do as a secondary extruded feature, what can I do as a pick and place feature, and what is the sketch that I can accomplish the easiest given the object that I have. So in Inventor, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to New, and I want an English Standard IPT template. And as soon as that comes up, I will click on the button to launch my sketch and then go ahead and pick the top plane to create the sketch. So start 2D sketch, pick the top, and then make sure that the word top is rotated correctly up here. And now I'm going to begin by drawing my first line, which is going to be a 5-inch line. Now I know that this is going to come up, but the distance that it comes up is only 1.5. And I get that by taking the 2.5 to the center of the arc minus the radius of the arc, which is 1. And I can go up 1.5. And now I'm going to come in 1. And now I'm basically just going to draw the rest of this shape out, making sure that I line it up with the right pieces that it lines up with, because I want to use overall dimensions instead of dimensioning every little line segment. So I have an overall dimension here of 4. And I know that this segment and this segment are equal, so I'm going to click on my equal constraint, and I'm going to click here and here, and that's going to equalize pretty much everything else. I need a dimension between here and the inside of this, which is going to be 1.5, and a dimension in the middle of here, which is going to be 2. The depth of this cut is 0.5. Now, here I can see I've got everything in here except for that flat oval cutout in the middle and the 2 fillets on the end. But I'm going to say that that sketch is complete, and I'm going to go ahead and work with it from there. So let me zoom out a little bit so that we can see what's going on here. And now I will extrude the thickness of the part, which is 1.25. And that leaves me with this shape. Well, now to get the rest of this, I have a secondary extruded feature, which is that flat oval that's going to be cut right here. And I have 2 pick and place features, which is going to be the fillets on these 2 edges. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to place the secondary extruded feature. I always like to save all of the fillets and everything to the very end. So I'm going to left click on this face and then left click the button for create sketch. I'm now in the sketch mode, and I'm going to start by doing the line command. Now it's very important to watch real closely at how I draw this line. I'm going to draw just the first segment, and I can make it 2 across. And then instead of getting out of the line command and using a circle, I'm going to take and hover back over the end point of that line. I'm just hovering right now, I'm not left clicking. And now what I need to do is left click and drag in the direction that I want the arc to go. So if I left click and drag out and down, it'll create an arc going out and down. Now as I get back to here, it should snap to this vertical line that it places in here as a reference for me. And now I can let go of left click. And I'll just go ahead and draw this line all the way out. And I can see right here that it's got tangency all around, it's parallel all around, and it's lined up with the end point of that line, so I can left click here. And then I'm going to left click and drag and come out and up and drag that right over to this point. So by doing that, I should have all of the line segments that I need. I didn't have to do any trimming or cutting or anything else. Now all I need to do is come in here and add a couple of dimensions. This is an R5 in 2 places. So we have a radius of 0.5 that's in here. I know that from the center of this to the bottom is going to be 1, and it is 1.5 off of the edge. Now, because I did that using the line command and the click and drag method to get the arcs, All I needed was the overall dimension here, the radius, and then my X and Y dimension to locate it, and I now have a fully constrained sketch. So I'm going to finish this sketch and I'm going to go to extrude. And again, I'm going to drop this box down and change this to say all. When I change it to say all, after I make sure that my profile is selected, I can then say that I want it to cut, and it automatically changes my direction to go through. So at this point I can say OK. And I now have a cut that goes all the way through. The last feature that I have is just a fillet. So I'm going to click on fillet and change the radius here to 1. Once I change that radius, I can click on this edge and I don't even have to spin around. I know that there's an edge back here, so all I have to do is move my mouse until I see that that edge is highlighted and left click that edge. At this point I can hit the green checkbox to say that that's the fillet that I'm looking for, and here you can see a completed figure P2-7.